Hi, I'm Jessica Gaddis. I am 27 years old and I live in Boston, Massachusetts. And I've been at the Fish Factory now since the beginning of July. And I'm doing a 1-month residency here. So this is where I've been working for the past few weeks. And it's funny, I had a few options of places to work. But I like that this was described to me as an alternative space. But so it's still like pre-construction. I'm so like happy that I have like space to just spread out. And so I want to start creating again these like rock objects by collaging. And so I'm kind of making textiles out of paper. And like here, I'm just sort of creating these, like, creating my own, like, pieces of, my own, like, blocks of color. And I'll just cut away at these and make new shapes. And so I've been kind of making these without knowing what they're going to be, which is really neat. But then, of course, I'm, like, falling in love with drawing again in the process. And so here, I was just really enjoying like just having sheets of these large pieces of paper and like making really large motions with just a stick of graphite. And so I actually started making 2 of every one because I made these with the intention of cutting them up, but I just like them too much now as drawings, so I have one to cut up and one to keep as a drawing. So with all this playing that I've been doing and experimenting, I've sort of just been like, all right, keep asking myself, like, why am I doing this? Why do we make things, you know, why do I want to spend all my time in here making these things? And I sort of came to this like mini conclusion that an artist is somebody who refuses to accept what is. So like I think of something in my head and I'm like, I want this thing to exist because it doesn't exist yet. And it should exist, so I'm gonna make it. And then I think the thing that keeps us going is like, okay, well that exists now, that's good, but like now there's this other thing that I want to exist and should exist. So yeah, it's like refusing to accept the fact that something doesn't exist, so making it happen. I would say are some more of my like works that I finished even just yesterday. And again, I'm looking at landscape and nature, but I'm also pulling a little bit from sort of like pop, what's happening now in the contemporary world, this sort of like graphic but colorful playing. So I'm collaging some of my own drawings. So I'm trying to create this like 3-dimensional, like these facets sort of like on a diamond, but just in a flat way. And kind of creating this like object with this like this like extension here. Sort of like this is the top and this is like if you were to like take out the chunk of earth or whatever this thing is and, you know, place it, but it's still flat on the wall. So yeah, and here I've started just to cut into the paper and create like shadow and texture the way you do 3-dimensionally. And playing, I'm trying to play with kind of these like weird and unusual finished pieces. So I don't know, I just put this like long tail on this flat 2-dimensional mound that also has this like ray of hair almost coming from it. So because a lot of my 3-dimensional pieces have this like beauty and this sort of almost disturbing kind of decaying look to them. And I think that's important in my work, that there be beauty in sort of the weirdness or the decayingness or the unexpected places. Personally, I was surprised that I came here thinking I wanted like seclusion, private time, just like kind of solitude. But the moment I got here and was just super welcomed by everybody, everybody here is just so warm and interesting and creative. I've like been surprised to see that I've been wanting the opposite. Like I've been just thoroughly enjoying spending time with people, which is like sort of this like slow transition. I've always been social, but like in the past few years I've been just like craving quiet and solitude, and I just thought that that's why I was coming here. And I'm just surprising myself that like I have just been like wanting to be social, and so I'm just making sure not to miss anything and just trying to have as many conversations with people here and hang out with people, and it's been giving me energy. It's been like I'm like excited to like come in, see everybody, say hi, get in my studio. Like I have like no issues if like somebody is walking through the space, and so that's been surprisingly refreshing that I'm enjoying people, but especially these people. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very nice.
Okay. Okay.